Am I ready to perform live? This is a question that I get from two kinds of people. It's either the new student who has been learning and taking lessons in how to play an instrument, and they're just getting confident enough to go, well, I think I could. Or the other option that I get a lot of the time is I get the person who used to play live. This tends to be a lot of retirees. I get a lot of people that used to play live, but then they stopped for whatever reason. They had children, they hit a point in their career where they just couldn't take that time. And now they're at the point where they kind of have the desire to get back into it. In both of these cases, the answer is probably a resounding yes. Let me tell you why. Welcome back to Danny Robertson Music, where we're helping you be the performer that you're meant to be. I'm Danny Robertson. Thanks for joining me, as always. Now, we're talking about being ready to get out there and perform live. Now, there's plenty of reasons why one might think they can or one might think that they can't. But the truth is that most of the ones that are on that can't side, you can overcome. A lot of it has to do with building up the confidence that you have to get out there and make those mistakes and go forward with performing live. It's okay to do it that way. So let's talk about this. First, let's talk about some reasons why you probably think you're not ready to perform live. Maybe when you go to play a song, you fall apart midway, or you start and stop, or you freeze or panic if something goes wrong on the song. Maybe it's something like you've got the fear of playing in front of someone, or maybe you don't know what to say when you're speaking in front of a crowd. Maybe you've only practiced songs one at a time and you're not sure about being able to play one after another after another. Maybe you don't have the health or the stamina, or you don't feel you do, to complete a full set of songs for a full performance. And more importantly, you're probably waiting to have the confidence to be able to do that. And the truth is, with something like that, the confidence only comes from doing it. Some reasons why you might feel ready to go are, you might be able to get through a full set. Like you feel like you can play through all the songs with energy to spare. Maybe you feel like your songs are memorized well, or you have got them clearly charted out and you know how to play them front to back. If you can make mistakes and recover smoothly, you probably have a little bit of confidence there. Maybe you do speak confidently and you think that you have something to say that would happen between your songs. Maybe you feel like you are good at things like eye contact and being able to relate to an audience. Maybe you think that you can execute those things really well. Maybe you've even had a few tries of practicing your performance in, what I would call show mode, where you're actually trying to perform it live and you feel like you've got a good feel for that. That's great. That is all signs that you could be ready to perform live. But here are the things that you need to remember, regardless of if you think you're ready or not. The first thing is that no matter how hard you try, and whether you are completely brand new to it or a complete seasoned veteran, when you go to perform live, things happen. Hiccups, mistakes, power failures, bad connections within the equipment, Bluetooth problems, speaker problems. Maybe your lights don't turn on. Maybe your microphone stops working because the connection is bad. It's happened to me plenty of times. You have to be able to learn to roll with the punches. No show is ever perfect, and you are going to have things to overcome. Whether you're physically prepared for that or not, the real truth comes in how you are mentally prepared for it. If you are ready to accept that some things don't go right and still try to put on a performance, you're going to be just fine. One of my favorite experiences like this was I was playing with a band. We were just getting started on a wedding reception show, and there was a storm rolling through that evening. All the lights went off, all the power went off, and yet this band was still able to perform 3 or 4 songs after all of that happened. All we did was we grabbed an acoustic guitar and we picked out some songs that we could all sing together with ourselves and with the audience. We were able to continue that show for at least a few extra songs just because we had a way to move forward. The funny part about that show was that there was actually a bar downstairs that was open to the public, and a friend of mine was playing that night at the bar. We were able to take the party down to the bar area where we were all allowed to be, including all of the wedding guests, the bridal party, everybody like that. And we went down, and my friend was also singing with an acoustic guitar. We just decided to jump in on her performance, and we had this great, amazing sing along in the dark with flashlights. And it was one of those unique experiences that made for a really good performance, even though literally everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. You will have mistakes. You will have technical difficulties. It is how you choose to operate when those things happen that will tell you whether you are ready or not. If you feel that you can't handle little kinds of hiccups like that, you probably need to get yourself mentally ready for that. In that same vein of things, I do want to point out that as singers and as musicians, there are going to be times where you are just simply not at your best. You want to be most of the time. You want to play at the best of your abilities, whether that is here or here. Get to the highest that you can in terms of your own standards. What you got to understand is there are sometimes that it's just not going to happen that way. I've seen plenty of singers have to just get through a show because their voice simply wasn't there that night. Sometimes you get sick. Sometimes you're just not physically there. You have to make the best of it. You have to try as hard as you can, but understand that there might be limitations in those cases. Do your best to try to get as consistent as possible while simultaneously trying to stretch your limits. A great story that goes back to this idea comes from the band U2. The singer for that band, Bono, was not overly confident in his high voice when he used to sing on recordings. For the song I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, Bono was pushed by the people that were working in the studio on the day of recording to try to push his voice to a higher register than he normally would have. And because of that, his performances got better. Because he was able to learn to stretch himself just a little bit, his voice actually got stronger. A couple of months ago, I was actually performing with a singer who we played a song that other singers within that band would sing at a particular key, except when we brought this particular singer in, she would sing it at a whole step lower than everybody else. Well, one night we had a show where I started the song like I would with everybody else in the correct key. And the band stared me down and they were telling me, "You're playing it in the wrong key." So I looked at the rest of the band and I said, "Don't tell the singer." And guess what happened? She nailed it. That singer may have thought she couldn't hit those notes, but it turned out that when she was actually put to the test, she did amazing and sounded fantastic. So as this relates to you being ready to perform, the truth about all of this is you're never going to be fully ready. Even if you've been doing it for 30 years, there are days where you walk in to perform and you go, "I'm just not feeling it. I don't know if I've got it today." But that does not matter because simply put, you're going to get up to perform. You're going to start your show. And guess what? At that point, you're performing. Whether you like it or not, learn to just go with it. You're going to be just fine. So that's it for today. Now do me the favor, check out DannyRobertsonMusic.com. There's so much more that we can teach you there. So much more in-depth information that teaches you the actual aspects of what you need to do to become the performer that you're meant to be. So best of luck on your next performance. And even if it is your first one, and whether or not you think you're ready to perform, I promise you, you're going to do great. So until then, take care.